So I strongly believe that the only difference between having somebody get to a certain location and those that don't is because those people actually made it happen, and they didn't pay attention to the outside world. They chose the thing that was important to them and they pursued it indefinitely and made it actually happen. No matter what was going on, how you felt, they actually just decided to actually get it going, and they willed their way all the way to where it actually was a thing. And I think that's true of anything, whether you look at entrepreneurship, getting an education, whatever, is that it's all about that. Just, I'm going to make this thing happen, and it actually happens. It's not about the strategic sort of picking the right choices and doing all the right things, and it's not an intellectual thing. It's really not. It's not a cognitive thing. It's sitting down and having the gumption that you can do this and you can get to where you're going. And I think it's a really bizarre thing to think about that, because I've studied the sort of intellectual contributions for a long time, and the field that I actually study is about learning, and it's about decision making, and there's something that's just really missing with it. And it's not telling this sort of story at all. And it's trying to focus on the everything else, but it's trying to focus on decision making and making all the right choices. And this is the mainstream way that we view things. But I really don't think that's actually the case. I think it's just, unbelievable gumption or desire or push or anything that you want to call it. It's just willing it to actually happen and to make it unfold before your eyes. And it's not necessarily picking the right things. It's not necessarily doing the right things in any sort of way, but it's just making it happen, turning something into reality, by just using everything at your fingertips, looking around and just willing it to happen, even though it feels weird or silly or whatever. Just making things appear. And it's such a really unusual way to look at the world that I don't know what to say with it, right? Like, I don't even sort of have a good way to think about it other than I call it gumption. Just willing your way, creating something by just determination, making it happen, making it look like it's evolving, building the airplane as it's flying, all of that kind of stuff, because ultimately nobody knows what the right thing is. Nobody knows the right choice. I see other people doing things, I'm like, I would never do that. But that's okay, right? Like, that's not my choice to make. And I think we need to sort of think about this as like, how do you actually get from here to there? Is that you just will it to actually happen. And what's really spectacularly weird is, I don't think it's, I don't think people, I think it's a different predictor. We look at performance metrics and how to do things perfectly, but instead it's more of a survival metric and looking at how long you're actually going to do something. And it's not a survival of like that you're going to, how long you're going to persist at something, but looking at how long you're actually going to keep that particular dream alive of what you're working on, despite the world just not giving any positive feedback. And I think that's where you need to just keep going and make it happen, make it turn into something. And, nobody knows what the right answer is and what that actually looks like. And it's different for everybody, but you make it turn into something. And I think that's an important view to take, is you just keep getting you just keep going. It's the definition of insanity. As I think Einstein said, just banging your head against the wall repeatedly. Just keep going. It will actually happen if you don't stop.